Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Turnabout podcast. I'm your co-host, Aris,
And I'm Lucy.
and welcome to today's episode. So today, this week, basically, here's what we thought. Last week, we had a pretty serious conversation.
Definitely.
There were some funny bits, but it was mainly about representation and current issues, and
It was a little bit heavy.
it was a heavy episode. So today, to shift the mood and lighten things up a bit, we thought, and this was Lucy's suggestion from last week, if you remember, we thought we'd ask some random questions and do some who's more likely for the characters, which should be incredibly fun.
Yes. So we're gonna do kind of sort them out and talk about the whole cast of the games.
Yes, I'll send you, by the way, before we get started, check your messenger because I'll send you my tier list.
Ooh, perfect.
Also, spoiler alert.
Spoilers ahead.
Spoilers ahead. But before we jump right into it.
But before that, we need to do our weekly shout out.
Yes. Our weekly shout out. Give me 1 second. Okay. So this week we are featuring the art of heartgrooooove, aka Beth.
Hi Beth, if you're listening. Hi Beth.
Hi Beth, I hope you're fine, and thank you for giving us permission
Yes, thank
to
you.
feature your work. Beth is on Tumblr and Twitter. We'll link everything below. And without further ado, let's check out her artwork. I'll put everything up on screen.
Yeah.
She did Huevember, but let's talk about the stuff which is in Huevember first because I really want to focus on the portraits. So before we get into her Huevember take, which is mainly Ace Attorney, she did one of my favorite stuff she did, which was in Huevember, was the one I sent you right now. It's young Blaze the Best, Manfred von Karma, and Damon Gunt, and then their older selves.
That's adorable. That's so cute. And also it's so creative because three characters that are bound to come in contact, especially in those days that she drew. But I've never thought about them being together. So it's a very clever idea and it's really, really sweet and adorable. Very playful.
I love the people who draw them together in the past because
I
it
know.
completely makes sense.
Exactly.
It totally makes sense.
It's those stories are bound to intertwine their work at the
Yeah.
same place. I really like it. I feel like when people create connections that weren't present in the game, it's always yes, because their characters exist outside of the games and they live, and I really like that. So that was a super cute drawing.
Yeah, and I also like how their younger selves, I don't know if it's on purpose, but personally, Blaze and Manfred remind me of Sebastian and Francisca.
Definitely.
So this is just excellent work.
And also
And then-
great attitude. I think the attitude matched so much, the pride of Von Karma, the playfulness of Damon Gaunt. It's kind of because he's so charismatic in the game. That's what makes him a good villain. You want to like him, and then he turns out to be this douche. And the just fuck it attitude of Blaze the Best. No, not Blaze. Blaze? No, yeah,
No.
Blaze the Best.
What? Not
Blaze the
Blaze.
Best.
I thought you were talking about Manfred.
What?
I thought you were talking about Manfred von Karma.
I said the pride of Manfred von Karma, the playfulness of Damon Gaunt, and the fuck it attitude of Blaze the Best. And then I was like,
Yeah,
is
he has
Blaze or
his middle finger
Sebastian?
up.
What?
He has his Blaze in the artwork has his middle finger up.
Exactly. Middle finger up.
Zero fucks given. I also love the
Exactly.
details. I also love the subtle details, like because Blaze the Best wears his leather jacket and he's like his love for motorcycles and like his disgusting garage, and the younger self is wearing like a boiler jumpsuit and like
Adorable.
motorcycle like accessories.
Yeah. And even just like the police uniform of Damien Gaunt makes sense. Like he kind of built himself from the ground up. I really like it.
Yeah. And then besides November, she did Trucy and your favorite version of Phoenix with the Papa hat.
Yes, the Papa hat. It was a very cute drawing.
It
Like
was.
even I, who's not the biggest fan of the Papa hat, have to admit that. Like, and also it's kind of what we talked about in previous episode. I think the game didn't make the best, like didn't create the best representation of Trucy's and Phoenix relationship. In just one drawing, Beth made like I believe that relationship. I believe that duo, that kind of playfulness and Phoenix
Yes.
being almost like an older brother because they're so close in age. Like I believe in it. It's clever. It's well thought out. That's what I want in the games.
In my DMs when I messaged her asking for permission to use her stuff, I told her because I recently reblogged this as well. Edgeworth kissing Shi-Long.
Yeah.
She shipped them in another piece of work as well.
Ooh.
How do we feel about this ship?
Mm, I'm
It's not
trying to
that
picture
popular.
them together, like personality wise. Like what would
Yeah.
their everyday I don't I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at it either. I mean,
I
it's obviously overshadowed by Phoenix and Edgeworth's
Yeah.
ship. But
I do think it's kind of cute, like because Edward is always so serious and Shillong is always like so passionate and aggressive. I think they could balance out each other nicely.
yeah.
Have we ever
Uh
seen them interacting?
who? Phoenix and Edgeworth and
No.
Shilong?
Yeah. Oh.
Girl. What? She
My
really did
mind
forget
froze for a
investigations.
second. Okay, I do remember now. Yeah, totally. I could totally see them. It could be a great enemy to lover fan fiction. I
I
could see a
can't
little
believe you just
pride of
asked
prejudice.
me.
I know.
I can't
My
believe you
mind
just
has
asked me
been
that.
slowed because I was like, oh, of course, Shilong, the character that's introduced in the Phoenix Raid game. So I was like, I don't know, for some reason I thought it was like, oh my god, I am so sorry. I deeply apologize. It's been 2 episodes that my mind has been fogged up.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's going on? It's ever
Welcome
since I
to
came back to
objection.
yeah,
Welcome to objection turnabout.
it's since I've came back to England. It's the British air. Also,
Ah,
I'm in self-isolation, so I'm losing my mind.
the British air is the villain
Yes.
of the new season. Period.
Yes. I'm sorry for asking that question, but yeah, I could see like a Pride and Prejudice, Mr. Darcy. I was gonna say Mr. Darcy and
Okay.
Shilong, but actually Mr. Darcy could be Edgeworth. Like I could see a little enemy to lover kind of thing going on. I like it.
It's
How
funny you
about you?
mentioned that. It's funny you mentioned Pride and Prejudice because she drew Apollo in like classical wear, which is I know it's based on Capcom's Ace Attorney Cafe thing. Did you see that?
Mm.
They released a Capcom Cafe artwork a couple of no, it's not the cafe, is it? They released official artwork with everyone wearing like classical wear.
Was it? It wasn't for the orchestra thing where they released like everyone playing instruments.
No, 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 no.
Hmm.
I they released I'm confusing the two. They released some official artwork about Capcom Cafe, which saw everyone wearing like waiter clothes, and then they released. I don't know how old is this, but
I think it's Capcom Cafe. I just Googled it, and I'm gonna read it like this.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's Capcom Cafe. You're right.
that's it. Your internet is lagging.
Yeah, I know. You froze for a second.
But yeah, she did Apollo in that as well. So I really want to take a look at her Huevember take,
Yeah, because
which
there's so
is
many cool and very interesting character choices.
there's one thing I appreciate a lot about Beth's work is that there's ghost trick fan art. I don't know what to say. I'm like ejaculating over this legit. Like I
Because
love
like
that
Ace Attorney
game.
is quite a small community, but like Ghost Trick is even smaller.
It is even smaller. Um but yeah, there's Ghost Trick, there's also Dai Gyakuten Saiban, which we haven't played yet. Which one is your favorite?
I love the Simon Keys one.
I was gonna say the Simon Keys one as
It's
well.
so cool. It's really, really cool. Like the colors, the eyes. It's very well done. Like my eyes are drawn to it. I feel like it really stands out.
Yeah, that's my
So
favorite one as well.
yours is also this one.
I
But I
also
like also
like.
the Blaze the Best one. And you don't see a lot
Okay.
of fan art including Blaze the Best, but I like it.
Yeah, I guess. Uh, my favorite ones are definitely Simon Keys, Athena Sykes, and surprisingly, Emma Sky.
Oh, it's cool as well, yeah.
It is cool. Yeah. So I'll put all the artwork up. I'll
Definitely.
also put up Lynn from Ghost Trick. I asked Lucy if I could put it up
Yes.
because here's some backstory info. Ever since I played Ghost Trick, not even finished the game, like ever since I started playing it, I've been
I've
spamming
been
Lucy,
harassed, morally harassed with a song.
morally harassed with a targeted redhead. Lynn's theme song, her leitmotif from the game. I've been sending Lucy this since November.
Yeah. Every time I open my phone and like check our messages, it's like, oh, he sent you a link to something. What is it? Oh, it's a targeted redhead. This is my ritual. Like every time I'm opening a link on the internet, I'm now scared that it's a targeted redhead. It's a cute song. I
It
already
is a
have a
cute
theme
song.
song that Aris chose for me.
Yes.
That's
It's
a close second.
so Lucy's theme song, if she was a theme song, she would be the theme song from Mario Galaxy when you chase those fucking rabbits. That's Lucy's theme song.
I need to find
But
you one now.
yes, I was going to ask
Next
you
week, I'll
which theme song am
present
I?
your theme song. I need to give a lot of thoughts about it.
Okay. Ooh, what if next week's episode is music from the series?
Oh,
We
we
haven't had
haven't.
that
Oh
yet.
my God. Look at us segueing into next week episode. Okay, let's do this. Good idea.
But yeah, if Lucy had a theme song, it would be the rabbit theme song from Mario Galaxy or Targeted Redhead because she's literally Lynn. If
Am
I know you've
I?
never seen our faces, but Lynn is Lucy. Period.
But I'm not a redhead anymore.
You're in my heart. You will always be a redhead,
Yeah.
and
When we met, I
a targeted
was.
one, a
Of course, it
targeted
makes
redhead.
perfect sense.
I mean, even now you're targeted by the British air.
Yes, I am. It's making me lose brain cells. Shall we begin?
Yes, so we'll attach links to Beth's work below.
And
Please follow
again,
her,
thank
like
you, Beth,
everything.
for your
Yes,
wonderful
thank you,
art.
Beth. Please follow and like Beth's stuff. She's lovely. But yeah, let's get started. Should we start with who's more likely?
Yes.
Let me get my tier list.
I have
Do you want to go
yours.
first?
Sure. So my
Okay.
first who's more likely is someone something that I think could tell a lot about a person is who's more likely to have sex with you and never call you back.
I hate this already.
It's an important question, Aris, and
It
the
is an
world
important
needs to
question.
know.
I was writing my who's more likelies yesterday, and by the end, I was like, why is Shi-Long Lang the answer to all of them?
That's very true. We've already established his character in a previous episode and
I just
roasted him
remembered.
to hell. So I feel like we should like spare him.
Oh my god, I just remember how we popped the fuck off.
We were mad at him for no reason.
Should I play that? Should I play
I
that
feel
beat?
like we
the
shouldn't. We shouldn't rub salt in the wound. What if Shi-Long Lang is listening, Aris?
bit? Okay, we'll discuss this later. But
Yes.
yeah, let's spare him for this episode. Jeez. Okay. Maybe Mud and Guard?
Interesting. I had a different answer in mind.
Mud and Guard or Juan Corrida. But
That makes sense.
It does make sense. But then I thought... Here's what I thought. I thought Francisca would be that type. But Francisca doesn't... I don't know, in my head, she doesn't strike me as a person who'd have just casual sex.
I agree. I feel like she'd need to really respect think they're worthy of having sex with her. So I think they'd have to be someone who she really respect. So I don't think she'd be into like just hit and run.
Yeah, you're right. So my answer is Matt and Guard then.
All right.
Or Juan Corrida.
I think it would be Clavier Gavin. I think Clavier would not respond to you after a hookup. But that's my opinion. And I know. Like, he seems like a sweet guy. I don't think he'd do it on purpose, but I think he's kind of like that. I'm sorry.
Except if it was Apollo.
Yes, totally. Of course. But, like, he's a rock star. You know what I mean?
Yeah, now that you mention it, it does make sense. And it's also... I also think he's a person who never checks his phone.
Yeah. He just, like, has, like, 200 missed messages.
I hate those people.
I know. Like, when I have one unchecked message, I'm like crumbling, and especially when someone that I don't want to answer to sends me a message, and then for like an hour I have the little icon and I want to open it, but I don't want to. Let's move on before I lose my mind.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay, is it my turn?
Go ahead.
So here's what I said. For my first one, I asked, who's more likely to wear flip-flops on a daily basis?
As you said it, I'm getting strong gumshoe vibes. I don't know why. I feel like,
Gumshoe.
yeah, I feel like gumshoe would love flip-flops and like wear them a lot.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I'm
That's the energy I'm getting from him.
I'm not getting that at all.
I feel like he'd have sweaty feet and he would want to air them out. That's how I feel. And I
What
love him for
the
that.
fuck?
Just unapologetically himself. I really like it. Who's your answer?
Well, apart from the ones we know were flip-flops, like Phoenix in his Papa outfit or Maya
Oh, I forgot he wore flip-flops in that outfit. Oh, it's
or
a
Maya.
crime.
Maya's ones are really cool. They're like platform flip-flops, like really 2000s
Yeah.
fashion era jelly flip-flops. Um, if we're not talking about those two, which we know are confirmed, I'd have to say Constance Court. She strikes me as very
Oh,
that vibe, like very hippie, you
yeah.
know.
Free-spirited
I mean,
with burning sage.
yeah, unless they buried her in flip-flops, I don't think she'll be wearing any anytime soon. But she is the person that would be wearing flip-flops on a daily basis.
I get that vibe as well. I understand your thinking process and I respect
Nice. I'm
it.
happy we're on the same page.
Yeah, she seems like she'd be into astrology,
Yes. Yes.
if that makes sense.
Oh, would she even go like high at school? Like
I
teach
don't
teach
know.
while under the influence?
I don't know. I'm undecided because at the same time she's a like a lawyer, so I don't think she'd
Yes.
break the law by consuming the devil's lettuce. But I do get that energy from her.
Here's a question I have in general. Why did someone who teach at a law school and who was a judge, I think she was a judge,
Yeah.
why did she teach art? And why was art being taught?
I don't know. I feel like she was, I've always assumed she was kind of like the a law teacher, and then on the side, she was like hosting the art club,
A side hustle.
a side hustle, like a side extracurriculum activity.
I think her side hustle was growing weed and selling it. That's what I think.
Very nice interpretation.
Yes. And with that being said, let's move on.
So, kind of ties into what we just said because my next two questions are linked to each other. It's who
Okay.
would be addicted to cocaine and who would be surprisingly a stoner.
I hate you.
Those are very important questions, and the people need to know.
If you've had
So,
issues with drugs, by the way, and you're listening, we're not shaming you or anything.
no, definitely not.
But definitely consuming extremely high amounts of cocaine would be Roger Rettins, or whatever his name is, the guy who looks like Robert Downey Jr. from the Magical Turnabout.
Oh, I get that.
Like he's one of those not even like E-list producers who like shot pornos in the past, and because he shot like one movie, he thinks he's like the hot shit of Hollywood, like the talk of the town, and he lives in like an LA pad
Definitely.
and always has cocaine on the like like at the living room table laid out.
I could see
Um,
him. It's the gold chain around his neck and the slightly open shirt for me that gives me this impression.
so you agree?
Yeah, I didn't think of him. My top pick for cocaine was Galactica, Maximilian Galactica, because he just seemed full of energy.
Girl, I'm not sure a circus performer could afford cocaine. I think he's like shooting up things like stuff from the trash.
Oh, he was like a successful circus performer.
Okay.
And
And
so for Stoner, you answered Justice Courtney. Just
not Justine Courtney, Constance Court.
Constance Course. Potato, potato. We've
No.
already established that my brain is fried.
Your brain is slower than your Wi-Fi at this point.
That is such an insult because I have very bad Wi-Fi. So is your
Let me just tell
instant
you who I think. Yeah, let me just tell you some people who I think are stoners from the series.
also once
Uh,
again, we love stoners. This is not a place to shame. If you
yes,
do
of course not.
drugs, no problem.
Um, Constance Court, definitely La Miroir,
Mm,
definitely Darian Crescent, definitely Dr. Crab. Like that's 100% sure.
Dr. Crab is like he probably is like it's for his anxiety and makes space brownies and discover baking through that.
Dr. Crab, do you know that I think it's like approaching 10-year-old status at this point. But do you remember that Canadian news broadcaster who was like, she was like promoting legalization of cannabis in Canada. So she was like, I, as a proud owner of this movement, have no other option but to like give my full time and attention to this like movement. As for this job, it's not like I have a choice, but fuck it, I quit. And she quits on air.
Oh my
Do you remember
god!
her?
No!
I'll send it to you.
Now, everything you heard is why I, the actual owner of the Alaska Cannabis Club, will be dedicating all of my energy toward fighting for freedom and fairness, which begins with legalizing marijuana here in Alaska. And as for this job, well, not that I have a choice, but fuck it, I quit.
All right, we apologize for that. We'll be right back. Pardon for us.
Oh my
That's
god, please
major
do.
Dr. Crab energy. Like he's the one who like does the legalization of cannabis stuff. I'm
Oh my
100%
god.
sure.
I like her already.
I'll send it to you. Also, Metis Sykes is giving me major cannabis.
Interesting.
I was gonna say Yanni Yogi, but he's definitely on something. But I don't know if it's cannabis.
He seems too he isn't relaxed enough, I think.
Yeah.
But I definitely
Okay.
agree with Dr. Krabs. Next
What
question,
about you?
please.
Wait, what about you?
So Galactica for cocaine, and I think I didn't really have a precise idea, but I definitely agree with Dr. Krabs for stoner, 100%.
It's all in the brain, baby.
Yeah.
Um, my second one is who's more likely to have a second job, like a part-time supermarket employee or something. Like a
Hmm.
small part-time job.
Well, the obvious answer is Gumshoe because he's so underpaid.
Again.
Again. But I don't want to say him because I just said him. I feel like I'm getting that vibe from Mo because I do think Galactica was making banks, but I think I think otherwise. So I could see Mo as a cashier somewhere. And
Can you imagine
this is a
Mo?
shout out to all of the cashiers out there. I was a cashier for a year, and customer always yell at you for the price of the items. Bitch, you think if I was in charge of like how the price I would be here? It's so frustrating.
Can you imagine Mo rushing out of the big top, putting his coat on, and showing up at McDonald's to work his shift with clown makeup?
Exactly. That's how I see him. Who did you thought about?
I haven't thought about it yet, but something tells me that April May has a side thing, like a side gig. Like, working at Blue Corp really didn't pay well, and by night she was like not a supermarket necessarily, but like doing something online, maybe like an OnlyFans or something. I don't know.
I could see that. I'd pay for that. She's very cute.
Okay.
I mean, I probably won't, but I would give her a like because I'm very cheap.
The shocking truths come out in this episode of Turnabout podcast.
You could title it Shock.
Shock and horror confessions of the cast of Turnabout podcast.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, your turn.
My turn is who's more likely to have a secret tattoo and what would it be?
Again, my urge to say Shi-Long Lang. I mean, I have to figure out who would have a tramp stamp. It's a tramp stamp.
Oh,
It is a
it's
tramp
a tramp
stamp.
stamp? Okay.
Yeah.
I have my answer if it's a tramp stamp.
I think after a really like drunk night, Maggie Bird got a butterfly on her ass cheek.
Oh. And she was like, no, when she woke up.
She's regretting it ever since.
I think...
If it's not a tramp stamp, it's Lana Sky.
What would you have?
I don't know, like something in Japanese. I mean, she is Japanese technically, but if she was American, she'd have something in Japanese characters. And the tattoo artist she's like, can you tattoo truth or faith or like something on my back, like my lower back? And it like the tattoo artist was like, sure, and actually like tattooed, I don't know, like something like French fries in Japanese on her back.
Small barbecue. I could see that. Or I could see Lana Sky having like really cool tattoos under her clothes, like a whole sleeve. I could see her do that.
Okay.
But for a tramp stamp, I think Bikini has one. I think Bikini has a tramp stamp. Like a little design. You know what I like, those 90s one? And that she got in like 20 years ago and still has.
Like a mom tattoo?
Yeah. That's my answer. Your turn now.
It actually has to do with what you just asked.
Ooh, look at us.
Well, coordination, even though it wasn't planned. I said, who's more likely to have a nipple piercing?
Ooh.
Shi-Long Lang.
That's just your answer to everything.
I know. I can't say that. He's banned from this episode.
That's not my pick, but Terrifying Thoughts, The Judge. I know.
That gave me anxiety.
I know. I'm looking at the characters.
I think I know, but I'm not sure.
I want to say Camille, the stewardess from Investigation 1.
Yeah.
I feel like she has magnificent boobs and she would like to ornate them. That's how I feel. But also, I'm getting vibes from Florent Lebel from the Monsters Turnabout. I feel like we'll be into it. Those are my two choices.
Okay, my choices are if two people who would want to show it off and one who would be kind of like on the deal about it. The two people would be Sasha Buckler.
Ooh, I could see that.
Wait, actually three people. Sasha Buckler, Aura Black Quill, and Angel Star.
Oh, definitely.
And
I'm getting
the
strong pierced nipple from her.
Yes. And the one who would be on the deal about it would be Nayuta.
I don't want to think about that.
He definitely has one though.
Probably.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. The next one is who's more likely to be a virgin?
That was one of my questions.
Oh my god, great minds think alike. We're obviously excluding children from that.
I can't believe it.
Oh
I
my
said,
God.
who's more likely to be an adult virgin? I'm an adult virgin.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
You go first.
No, you go first.
Ooh, I can't.
Okay, I'll go first. I think Weston Payne.
Ah.
I think it is. It's just too unsufferable. There's people we know for sure aren't virgins, those who have children. But Winston Payne hasn't been mentioned to have a wife or children. So I think it might be him.
Winston Payne is definitely sending off major virgin vibes.
Yes.
I mean, there's some which are like too on the nose, like Morgan Fay, even though she did have, because she had pearls. Or like the monk who,
Yeah.
I don't know. In a not so funny way, I'd say Shelley the Killer.
Huh, I could see that.
He's
But
really
more
controlled.
like a choice.
A choice? You
I think
mean
it'd be celibate. Like,
you mean unlucky, being unlucky? Did you never see a 40-year-old virgin with Steve Carell?
I did see it.
In that kind of way, that's what I meant.
I think if Shelley the Killer is a virgin, I definitely see it as like a conscious choice because I do think he could have.
It is a choice. It is a choice.
Oh, you think it that way? Is it a choice in the film? Is it like waiting for the right woman? I've seen it a long time ago.
No. I think he was just like unlucky. That's what I meant. I told you.
Oh.
I think Shelley the Killer would be like a disciplined choice, like really cutthroat shit. But when we said it, I was thinking of like the person who we wanted to be more likely would be like just unlucky. Or like no one would want to have sex with him or her.
Yeah.
And now that I'm thinking about it, it could either be Winston Payne, Mike Meekins, or the journalist from Turnabout Succession.
Yeah, I could see that. Also, in addition to the list of someone who's just cannot like get it because everyone is repulsed by it, is Look At Me. I feel like Look At Me is an adult virgin.
Look At Me, director Hottie. I don't want to think about that. Triloquist Ben Woodman from Turnabout Big Top. I had someone else in mind as well. Give me 1 second. Lisa Basil.
Really?
I think so.
I could see that.
The good sis didn't have time on her schedule ever in her lifetime to have sex.
She's
That's okay.
too busy conquering the world. Like,
yes.
Exactly.
That's respectable. Okay.
Okay. Next question, please.
This one is kind of lame, but at this point I didn't know what else to add. So I said, who's more likely to love spicy food? This is giving major 13-year-old girl sleepover question. Who do you think loves spicy food? Oh my god, that's so scandalous. And honestly, that's what I am. That's what I am inside, a 13-year-old
Deep down,
girl.
you're a 13-year-old girl. Do you have an answer?
I think it's either Desiree or La Miroir.
Oh, definitely Desiree. I second that so much.
Yeah, Desiree is definitely spicy
I feel
food.
like Desiree would eat like the world's spiciest pepper and feel nothing.
Oh, like she'd have
as well.
If she had a YouTube channel, it would be Desiree and Ron Delight doing the hot sauce challenge or something, and Ron burning his mouth, but Desiree taking it down like a champ.
Exactly, just a pure badass.
Okay, your turn.
So the next one is kind of it's reminiscent of a previous character assassination that we did of one character. So who's most likely to punch a wall when they're mad? Apart from Shi-Long Lang.
No, you can't do this to me. You know what the answer is.
Say it.
Shi-Long Lang. He has anger management.
Yes.
He does.
He's the Andy Bernard of Ace Attorney. I just watched this episode the other day.
Please let me play the Shi-Long Lang.
Sure, go for it. So I didn't like that.
I love how
Let's move on.
Yeah, I love how Shi-Long Lang in both games just pops up and he's like, I'm going to arrest you because I don't believe in the justice system. And you're like...
Kind of like... a bit thick.
He has anger management issues, that's for sure.
Yes.
But
he is the type of guy who punches a wall.
I think he's closeted.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Interesting take.
Is that an Andy from The Office reference? Punching the wall?
Yes. I mean, not just Andy, but I think it's this kind of dudes who drink Monster energy.
Oof,
and who's like, when they get into a fight with their stepmom, he's like, I hate you, Penelope. And he punches the wall and makes holes in it.
He's like...
That's the vibe I'm getting.
I'll tell you what kind of guy he is. He's like, I don't know if he's closeted or not. Lucy's looking at me like, now, let's move on to investigations too. But
No, please tell me. I'm intrigued now.
Shi-Long Lang is like the guy who drives a Toyota Corolla, has so many Red Bulls and Gatorade bottles and cans inside, wears Under Armour shorts the whole time and doesn't wear underwear underneath and scratches his balls and then smells the fingers. That's Shi-Long Lang.
I completely agree.
Yeah, he doesn't take showers that much often either.
Yeah, it's just a disgusting
I kind of like him though. I think he's just
I do like him.
I think he's knockoff Godot.
Roasted him. I do like him. I think I do like his character. He gives me very...
He doesn't give anything.
Dude on Tinder who has 2 pictures and he's just wearing sunglasses in all of them.
Yes, and thinks he's hot shit because of the faux fur coat he has.
And his bio would be, I don't text first, please hit me up. Or something like that.
Yes. I'm happy we just psychoanalyzed Shi-Long Lang. That's for sure.
That was needed for this podcast.
And with
That should be another episode of
yes,
what would each character
let's
Tinder
characterize
profile would
every
be.
character.
Yes.
I think people will hate us by the end. Okay, yes.
Also, I think John Marsh.
John Marsh. Oh, John
Yeah.
Marsh definitely has anger management.
Yeah.
He wouldn't punch a wall. I think he'd like masturbate aggressively, but I don't think he'd like punch a wall.
Jesus Christ. Jesus
You said character assassination, bitch.
Okay. Next question.
Oh, you know who would punch a wall? Plum Kitagi, the mom.
Oh, definitely.
She'd throw a knife at the wall. She wouldn't even punch.
Yeah. And it would like not hit the wall properly, like fall on the handle or something. And so he had to redo it a couple of times for it to look cool.
I have another I have another answer as well. I keep forgetting his name. The guy whose whole shtick in investigations is the coupon guy in like the last case.
Yeah.
Like, he seems so gathered and calm, and he's like smiling all the time and having his eyes closed. And at the end of the day, like, he goes back to his office and he punches the wall because he can't take it anymore.
Yeah. I could see
poor
that.
thing.
Poor baby.
Yeah. Okay. I said, who's more likely to have the filthiest apartment or the cleanest? So both. Filthiest and cleanest apartments or houses.
Filthiest salmonella. I think there'll
Definitely.
be questionable things there. Questionable. Cleanest. Oh. Tell me what you thought. I need to think about that.
Well, again, filthiest goes to Shi-Long Lang, but since we can't say it, I want to say filthiest would go to... Shit, I had an answer for this. Give me 1 second. I can't remember. Darn it, I forgot. But here are my thoughts on filthiest as I'm looking at the tier list. Filthiest would have to be... Raymond Shields.
That's a good one.
That guy, like the bad guy from the first Spirit of Justice case. Peace, love, and understanding. The cowboy from Rise from the Ashes.
Marshall.
That's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah. Just beers everywhere.
I completely agree on salmonella, by the way. It's just if it wasn't salmonella.
I think I have my
I'm
pick
also
for
thinking-
cleanest.
Ooh. Okay.
I think-
Go ahead. I think I'm finished on filthiest. The other one
Filthiest?
I was thinking about, but I'm not sure, would be Dirk.
Yeah. Well, we kind
Because
of
he's a
seen his
fugitive.
stakeout. Yeah.
Yeah, which was fucking filthy.
Exactly.
The law office. But yeah. Go ahead. Which one is the cleanest?
For cleanest, I think Nayuta would be like super clean. Lisa Basil, I think, would be like
Yes.
a clean freak.
Yes,
And
that's what I was gonna
I'm-
say.
Sensing also maybe Aura Blackwell. I feel like Aura Blackwell will have like a super futuristic apartment and she would like keep it neat.
Really neat lesbian, really edge, like modern furniture, state of the art bitch.
Yes, exactly.
for cleanest, I'd also have to say Shelly the Killer. Like, I think Shelly the Killer doesn't even have furniture. Like,
Yeah.
he just has a bed and a chair and some food in the fridge and like a cup to drink, and that's it. Like, he doesn't have anything more or anything less. That's it. Because he
Concise and
never spends
efficient.
time at home. He
Yeah.
never spends time at home. He was cooped up in... here's who I thought. Matt and Guard, who we even see the apartment of.
Oh, true.
If he lived alone, if he didn't have a maid or a butler, which he doesn't have a butler. It was Shelly the Killer. But if he didn't have a
He
maid...
definitely has a maid.
He's definitely the kind who jerks off in a sock and then would leave it on the floor for like 2 weeks or something, and then would wear it 2 weeks later, like completely forgetting he nutted in it. I'm so sorry for anyone who's listening.
That's kind of the concept of a podcast.
Yeah, today's podcast is disgusting.
Sorry, absolute filth.
Oh, you know who would have a clean apartment?
Who?
Adrian Andrews.
Oh, definitely. It'd be so clean. I
Yeah.
think she'd be those kind of person, if you like eat chips or crisps around her, she'd whip out like those little vacuum cleaner and like
Yeah.
vacuum it straight away.
Yeah. And also Dee Vasquez, maybe?
I could see that.
Minimalist.
Yeah. Very luxurious.
Yeah. Okay. Your turn.
Who would be an Instagram influencer?
I mean, Eeny Meeny, or I kind of want to say Dahlia.
Ooh, I could see that.
Definitely Sasha Buckler has a following.
But like, it's not the same thing to have a following and to be an Instagram influencer.
And what kind of influencer do you mean? Like Christian white girl?
I meant kind of like pretty girls post pretty pictures and post a lot of stories.
Yeah, I still stand by what I said. Maybe not Sasha Buckler, but definitely Eeny Meeny and Dahlia.
I definitely agree with those.
Yeah.
I feel like Angel Starr might be another good candidate.
Yes, I was thinking about that as well.
And also the question that goes with this one is, who would have a rise and grind Instagram?
What does that mean?
Like rise and grind is like those hustler mentalities of people who post themselves like working out and like leveling up and being an entrepreneur and getting the bag.
So really pretentious shit.
Yeah, and buff guy.
Shi-Long Lang. Shi-Long Lang. Of course.
Of course.
Jacques
Of course.
Sportsman. Jacques Sportsman.
Jack, great name.
Yeah, it's Jacques Sportsman.
Definitely. I think John Marshall might be a little bit like that as well.
Okay.
And I have one last question, Instagram related. Who would
Okay.
have a meme page?
Would it be funny or not?
A funny one.
Because if it was unfunny, like it was like really like straight TikTok. Do you know who would have straight TikTok?
Oh, who?
The older guy from Turnabout Academy. That asshole.
The guy with glasses?
Yeah.
I see.
He would be one of those, the POV you announce to your boyfriend that you're
Shirtless.
pregnant.
Yeah. I could see
Nerdy
that,
guy
definitely.
transformation.
Oh my god.
it's kind of on the nose, but I'm thinking Mo would have a meme page. Someone who's really, who you wouldn't suspect would have a meme page. Like the and I remember her name from last episode, Rhoda Tenero, the air stewardess we defend. She would have a meme page.
You think?
Yes.
I like that. I really like that. I was thinking kind of on the same thing of like someone you wouldn't suspect. I think Edgeworth has a meme page related to like the Still Samurais.
I was thinking of that when you said Edgeworth. I was like, does she mean meme page or Still Samurai fan account?
Yeah, Still Samurai meme page. Okay, it's now your turn for the question.
Oh, also the widow from Rite of Turnabout would have a meme page.
You think so?
And a following in Kurain. Like the top meme page of Kurain.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
so we're like almost reaching the 1 hour mark.
I know.
And this is
I
my
thought
last...
this was going to be so quick. But this is taking a long time.
So the who's more likely, my last who's more likely is this one. And then you can ask yours and then we can go on to random questions.
Okay.
So choose wisely because I know you have like 17.
Yeah.
17 who's more likelies. You can save them for another time as well.
Definitely. I'll just like, there's a couple of ones that I definitely put in there, but they aren't really interesting. So I'll just pick the last one.
Okay. So mine is who's more likely to go commando?
Ooh. The judge?
I hate you. I hate you.
Okay, let me think about it. Do you have an answer?
I'm not sure. I think Christoph Gavin. Sorry, Clavier, not Christoph.
Oh.
Clavier Gavin. You know who would have a meme page, going back to the last question? The bellboy.
Definitely. And it wouldn't be very funny.
It would suck.
It was.
And he would have 3 followers.
Yeah.
But as for going commando, I'd say Clavier Gavin, Damon Gunt, Patricia Rowland.
I could see that, unfortunately.
Also, the first thing that popped into mind was Apollo, but he wouldn't go commando. That's not the right answer. I think for Apollo, what I was thinking is that he would wear a jockstrap. And again, sorry to our listeners.
I could see that. Definitely.
But yeah, those are mine.
I think for some reason I can see Francisca. I think she would read an article about it being better for your health and be like super confident. And if anyone questioned her about it, she'd be like, shut them off. And she would do it for her own self.
Go off, sis.
I think John Strong as well. I feel like he would like the way it feels when he's cooking.
I'm going to throw up.
Okay, it's now time for the final who's more likely.
What about Marvin Grossberg? Marvin Grossberg.
Because of his hemorrhoids.
Yes.
That would make sense. But I don't want to think about it.
Oh, and most definitely Horace Knightley.
Oh, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
That man doesn't even own pens. He just burned them all.
Fine. Okay.
So last, who's more likely, and then we're gonna move on to questions. Is that it? Okay. My last who's more likely is who is most likely to be an anti-vaxxer.
I really, 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 and I hate to say it, Justine Courtney.
Oh,
She'd be like, John, no, you're not getting the
overruled.
vaccine. I'm sorry. Like, you don't know what's laced. You don't know what's in the vaccine. I bought some herbs from the supermarket down the street, and I'm going to make some chamomile. This cold you have is going away in no time, and it takes like 3 weeks.
I could see that. Because she's like so protective over him. She'd be like, wouldn't want to take any chances.
Yeah.
And she probably saw some fucked up things, so she'd be paranoid. My pick was gonna be kind of an easy one. It's windy old bag. Because it's windy old bag. I feel like she'd be an
Yeah,
anti-vax.
that does make sense. And on that note, also Victor Kudo.
Oh, of course. Of course. He believes in conspiracy theories and he thinks the earth is flat. For sure.
If I'd have to go with someone who's just an individual paranoid person, I'd have to say the bad guy from... It's the culprit from Turnabout Time Traveler.
Oh, that doctor that became
Something
their butler.
nickety,
Yeah. Weird
whatever
hair. Okay, yeah, I could see that.
Okay. I'm happy with my answers,
I'm
which
happy with
all
my
of them are
answers too.
Shi-Long Lang.
Yes, and mine are mostly gumshoe.
Poor thing. I have 3 questions I'm really proud of that I thought of.
Tell me.
So here's question 1. Change the title of one episode.
Oh, that's such a good question.
Brainiac. This will take ages. Because I don't know my pick as well.
I think I have like I don't know if it's my definitive answer, but the thing that popped in my head was I'm not sure I love Bridge to Turnabout as a name because for me the case is so much bigger than just the bridge, you know what I mean? And I think maybe I'll call it like the final Turnabout because it feels like it wraps up perfectly. It's the final case of the trilogy. So
But
just
bridge
the bridge.
is such a metaphor.
Yeah, I know. I do get that. I do like it, but if I had to change one, maybe this one.
I have 2 choices.
Tell me.
The one would be Turnabout Reclaimed.
Oh, that is so true. I've never liked that title because this is such a fun and like
It's-
colorful case. And
Yes.
reclaimed? What do you mean
Like-
reclaimed?
I know it's reclaiming Phoenix's badge and going
Yeah.
back to his like roots of being a lawyer instead of like being unemployed. But since it's the DLC and it doesn't really make a big deal out of it being his first case, I don't like it. I'd have to say like it being like something Turnabout SeaWorld or like Turnabout something like that.
What about
Like
the
the
aquatic?
Yes, that was exactly what I was
Turnabout?
gonna say. That was exactly what I was gonna say.
Great minds
The
can
aquatic Turnabout.
That would be so cute. You know what?
I
I
know.
changed my answer to that because like Turnabout Reclaimed has never felt as fun as this case and as colorful. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is a fucking case where you're at SeaWorld with penguins and an orca. Like the first thing you think about is not reclaimed.
It's the aquatic Turnabout. Can we
Okay.
call that can we call it that in the next episodes?
Yeah, we just change it in our heads.
Yes. And it's now canon. My second choice would be changing Turnabout Succession to Turnabout Poop.
Amazing. Amazing. What is the next question?
Oh, you don't want to take turns?
Oh, like mine are not like that. I had other things planned.
Okay, I'll ask the other two, and if
Yeah.
you still want to go on, we can ask.
Yeah.
So the other one was choose a character you wish you could see the apartment of.
Ooh.
She's just hit after hit with this.
I really
awesome
like those questions. Say yours so I have just time to think about it.
I didn't think about the answers either.
Oh.
I know. Godot.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. For
But,
sure. I was... Huh.
Not really, though. I would like to see Godot's. I would like to see Callisto Yu. I would like to see Norba the Plume.
Ooh, that could be a fun one. I'd like to see Simon Keys and have like
That's
all
what
of
I was
the
gonna say.
information. Yeah. Because I guess he, like in
And,
my
like-
head he has like his mastermind plan like on a big chalkboard with like red wine. Does that make sense?
Oh, I was thinking of like Simon Key's apartment for all the wrong reasons though. I was like, I wanna see like the bed where he and Horace Knightley sleep, or the bathtub where they take like baths together and stuff. But sure.
Oh my god. Sure, yeah.
Here's what I have to say as well. I was
Say
not
it.
at all satisfied with Desiree's apartment.
I was gonna say that. I was like, Desiree came to mind. And I was like, we've already seen her apartment, but it feels like Ron Delight's apartment and not Desiree.
Yes. I want to see
Definitely.
Desire's apartment. And that's on period.
I'd like to see Furio T. Gray's apartment as well for some reason. But we've seen his office, so I feel like we've got a glimpse of his apartment.
I want to see the art collector from Turnabout Airlines apartment.
It must be very grandiose.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Next question.
The last question is, if you could be one character for a day, who would it be?
If I could be one character,
Yeah, if you could live one character's life for a day, who would it be?
maybe Will Powers. I think it'd be really fun. I was thinking like Will
Really?
Powers or Sasha Buckler because they have like no. I think I know. I think I'd love to live like Aris Bikini because I've always wanted to visit the temple and like do those nuns activities and like be peaceful and be a nun, but without the nun commitment. So I think those three.
Okay,
You?
I changed my mind on the who's more likely to be a virgin question. The answer is you.
You can't see it because this is podcast, but I'm giving in the finger
The finger.
like a true rebel. Call me Blaze the Best. I'm just
Blaze
with
the
a
best.
middle finger up.
If I could be one character for a day, it would have to be Kay Faraday.
Would you steal stuff? You thief?
I would steal stuff. I would make amazing stunts. I would live my life to the fullest. Yeah, I would be just so happy. Just even for a day. Just YOLO the
Definitely.
fuck out of it. You
I
know?
could see that.
I don't know, like, most of the lives of the characters now, just now considering this, are pretty mundane.
Yeah. It's like, apart from getting caught in murders, most of them are normal people.
I would also like to be any of the characters who took part in the Bake Off at the
Oh, yeah.
Masters competition.
The Inherited Turnabout. That was a nice name. I like this one.
You remembered the name.
I know. Maybe my
Wow.
brain isn't mush after all.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. Was that
Okay.
all?
Yes, these were the 3 questions.
Those were really nice questions. Thank you, Aris.
Thank you.
Um,
So we should leave it at that. Should we leave it at that?
Definitely. We'd leave
Okay.
it on a high note with those nice questions and those dirty who's most likely.
With Shi-Long Lang's assassination episode.
Yes. Once again, ripping him to shreds without mercy.
Okay. So, because our outros tend to be lame, and I told Lucy that they remind me of Emma Chamberlain's acceptance speech at the streamy.
I'm scared, but I just want to say thank you guys for being so welcoming because I'm new, you know? It's been great. Thanks, I guess. I love you, Mom and Dad.
But we thought we'd make something out of it. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you for sticking up until the end of
Exactly.
the podcast.
You are brave.
And thank you for tolerating us and our shit. So, Lucy, what are you doing after this?
I'm probably gonna take a shower. I think I heard my roommate in the bathroom, so she should be done, and I'm gonna have a hot, steamy shower.
That sounds so good.
What about you?
I think I'm going to go stream Targeted Redhead on repeat.
Streaming it is fine. Sending it to a special someone is not.
I will send it to you as well because I want you to listen to it. It's pretty good.
No.
You have to give it a try.
I hate you. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you for listening. Good night.
Good night.